Hey, how's it going? Stephen here from understandingaudio.com, where we clear up the confusion around music mixing and production. I teach the why as well as the how so that I can help you produce better music. If you're new and this is your first time hearing my voice, or even if it isn't, hit that subscribe button. And anything that I mention in this video that needs quick access will be linked in the description box down below. So let's get going. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but there are patterns that you can spot in the most successful people. They're the little things that make them stand out as exceptional. I had the privilege of seeing Hans Zimmer perform live with some of the world's best musicians at the Wembley Arena in London a few years ago. We arrived in plenty of time, but actually missed the start of the show because there were so many people still outside waiting to get in. The reason being, there were lots of extra security checks at most events in London due to the number of terror attacks that were unfortunately taking place at the time. But the show must go on, and it did. During the performance, it was so very clear to see how much Hans Zimmer absolutely loves what he does and how much he loves all the people he's doing it with. You can spot patterns in the behavior of lots of extremely successful people, but more specifically, there are 5 lessons that were reaffirmed for me that night. Lesson 1. Give to others much more than you take. There was a dreadful fire at the Grenfell Tower in London the week before that concert. I can't even begin to comprehend the impact that has had and will continue to have on so many people's lives. Mr. Zimmer describes London as his second home, and it was clear to see how deeply moved he was by the suffering of so many in his community. During one of his speeches to the audience, he decided to donate all the proceeds of his concert to the victims of the fire. It was very clear that this was completely unrehearsed and just something he had to do. He felt compelled to do it, and it was an incredibly noble act. Lesson 2. You will have a successful career if you live to serve. At the end of each movie segment, it's crazy that there are entire movie segments in a Hans Zimmer concert, he takes a brief interlude to tell some stories about his compositions, but absolutely none of it is about how great he is. He highlights the musicianship and quality of his band and orchestra and the directors he's worked with over the years much more than anything he has to say about himself. He'll bring someone up to the front of the stage with him, talk about their amazing career, their background, and how long they've been working together. Then he embraces them and thanks them in front of everyone. He's now even working with the children of people he's worked with over the years, like Niall Maher, Johnny's son. He's one of his guitarists, and he performed with both Lebo M and his daughter on the night as well. So by aiming to serve others as best as he possibly can, Hans Zimmer has become one of the most influential film composers of all time. Lesson 3. Put other people's interests first. People don't stay working with one company or one employer for many years if they don't like what they're doing. Or if they do, they have to ask themselves some serious questions. It's clear that some of the best musicians in the world have been brought together by Hans Zimmer to serve the music he's been asked to write and then perform that music for his audience. They've been playing together for many years and the bond is strong. His orchestra and band are serving the original concept of the music and making sure the audience comes first. Not only that, but they're there to have a good time, to play, as he puts it. He wants everyone involved to have fun, and his influential, positive energy is compelling. Lesson 4. Your most valuable gift is you. The little anecdotes and rambling stories are fascinating. He gets lost in thoughts, ideas, concepts, and trying to get his point across. But he's real. People have every right to feel disillusioned with the way the world works right now, but nothing shines brighter than positivity and authenticity. It's interesting that I experienced this concert at a time when the world felt like it was in disarray, but I'm recording this during the coronavirus lockdown, and I'd no idea what was really coming. But I digress, and the lesson is more important than ever. Hans Zimmer is not the only wildly successful person to display these attributes of authenticity. Be real, be you. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Lesson 5. Learn from your mistakes. One of the worst kept secrets is that Hans was a session musician in London back in the day, and he performed on the Buggles track Video Killed the Radio Star. On the night, he told a story about when, some time ago, Trevor Horn wanted Hans to join him in London to play the song live once again. Hans recalled that he was grumpy and in the middle of a movie, so he didn't go. A friend of his called him on the night at the concert and played the song down the phone. And of course, Hans instantly felt intense regret and sadness in the pit of his stomach. Trevor Horn joined Hans Zimmer on stage on the night I went to see him to perform Video Killed the Radio Star. I need say no more. What a beautiful moment. When you examine the volume of work of Hans Zimmer and the sheer versatility of what he's done over the years at such a high level, it seems almost impossible. But it is possible. That's because it's not just one man, but an entire network of amazing people that have worked with him and added value to each other over many years. Some food for thought for us all. So I've actually got an action step for you to take on this. How can you take just one of those lessons or concepts and implement it into your life today? What can you do today to make a difference? It can be creative or otherwise. We'll take just one of those lessons and make it happen. I guarantee you'll feel great about doing it. Alright, so that's it for today's episode. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. If you did, then please drop a like, give me a thumbs up, because 1, you can let me know that this is helpful, and 2, it lets other people know it's good stuff. And I don't just make podcasts, so if you want to know when my next podcast or video, tutorial or otherwise, is ready to go, hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever I've got something new for you. And that will be very soon. In the meantime, have fun making great music, and I'll see you then.